The US-India Intelligence Pact, Beca, signed during a visit by Mike Pompeo and Mark Esper, which could give India an advantage in future conflict over Kashmir. Pakistan believe the agreement will pose an immediate security threat to Pakistan or China. The Foreign Office of Pakistan said that India's acquisition of armaments and expansion of nuclear forces would have serious consequences for peace and stability. The provision of advanced military hardware, technologies, and knowledge to India is a threat posed to strategic stability in South Asia. Cameron Bakari, Director of Analytical Development at Washington's Center for Global Policy, talking to BBC, said that the United States would not want to give sensitive information about Pakistan to India, which could lead to a new conflict in the region, especially at a time when the United States needs Pakistan's cooperation in resolving the Afghan conflict. Some analysts have argued that Islamabad's proximity to Beijing is an obstacle, hindering Pakistan from sharing its concerns over Beca with the US. The most important out of which is the sharing of sensitive information with India through American satellites and imagery. Under the pact, the US will share advanced satellite and topographical data for long-range navigation and missile targeting. It will give access to a wealth of data from US military satellites. Michael Kugelman, Deputy Director of the Asia Program at Wilson Center, said a major advantage for India will be in the country's ability to identify targets. The Beca can help India avoid what happened after the Balakot strike, when there were considerable doubts as to whether actually hit the intended target. Kugelman added that the main purpose of the Beca for India is to track Chinese land forces on the border and naval movements at sea. Given the zero-sum lens through which the India-Pakistan rivalry is often perceived by both sides, many in Islamabad will believe that Pakistan's security interests are now undercut. Some factions in the Pakistani government fear that India, equipped with intelligence from the Beca, threatens the security of the Kashmir-Gilgit-Baltistan region, the region where Beijing's Belt and Road Corridor enters Pakistan from China's Xinjiang province. However, some experts believe the agreement will not pose any immediate security threat to Pakistan or China. They are skeptical of Pakistan's security after the signing of Beca. Others have been reassured that Pakistan is an ally of the US in the Afghan Taliban issue, and the US wouldn't take any steps to obliterate its ties with Pakistan. In Beca, even some very classified data will also be shared between the two countries. And, after this agreement, and the other 3 defense agreements that India has already signed with USA, will now have much more advantages for India, and even more power in terms of military. This will help India, in the long term, to mark its dominance in the Indo-Pacific region, and an advantage in future conflict over Kashmir.